How's it going, everybody? The Seer here, and we have the Ultimate 32, everybody's favorite Crucible. Yeah, right. Today we got Rizzle 21. I remember playing them once before. I don't remember how it ended up going. They are 233 million TCP. They're on about 23 minutes ago, so it's possible they already got their attacks done. I'm not quite sure. Now, as far as the room rules, I do want to say there is currently a bug going on in stage 2. Let me jump over to my defense quick. Basically, what's going on is when this team spawns in immediately, they end up doing their clone. If Dark Phoenix ends up getting killed, then Dark Phoenix comes in, she will do another clone. So she's going to be bringing back Omega Red Phoenix Force and a clone when she basically goes Dark Phoenix, so you do want to be mindful of that. I did end up reporting that. I don't think that's supposed to be intentional. If it is, this is where Omega Red Phoenix Force and Phoenix basically are staying the entire U32 and next Crucible season, just because that's going to be super impactful, just getting free clones like that. Now, as far as what I'm hearing, it looks like all of these rooms are being pretty impactful, and it's being a bloodbath. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of experiment today. So in stage 1, we have a Black Knight, Null, Xavier, New Emma, and Shadow King. Stage 2, we have a Starjammer team. And stage 3, we have Annihilators with Mephisto and Kahori. So they do have Odin. It looks like for the offensive side of things, they have Quasar, they have a Cursed, they have Immortal X-Men. So that's kind of the theme with the Ultimate 32, is there are a lot of weapons that you can end up keeping while still turtling up pretty hard. So let's go ahead and start this off. All right, we're going to end up doing stage 1 first, and I'm going to do a little bit of experimenting so you guys don't have to. That's what I'm here for. Basically, we have the full Accursed team going into this mess over here. So during the last time this was in play for Take a Moment, this was on defense only. Now this is saying offense and defense, meaning my Accursed team is super slow. They're 125 speed. Xavier is 128 speed. We have Shadow King, who's about 120 something. Emma's like 120 something. We have all fast characters besides Black Knight over here, so they're going to be taking their turns before we take our turn. So we're going to be having this extra 5,000% resistance and taking 50% less damage on here. So I'm really curious how this is going to go. If it ends up going badly, I'm just going to back out, then go back in and try something different. I just want to kind of push this to see what ends up happening on here. We do have 6 attacks as opposed to 3. That's why I don't mind backing out to test this out. Noel and X and Emma are all 127. Okay, I was thinking X was 128 for some reason. I knew they were like 120 something as well. So yeah, let's see what happens in this mess. All right, so no taunt, no charge, so that still happens. Xavier's going first. Not sure what's going on here, because we're supposed to have that 5,000 focus. Maybe that is supposed to be defense only, because yep, there goes Mordo. All right, there's some mind control shenanigans. All right, let's go ahead and special. Got the safeguard up. All right, let's go ahead and ult here into Xavier. All right, Shadow King going into Juggernaut. Man, they do not like Hell of Rain. All right, let's go ahead and special here. I'm just going to stay in Xavier again. There's the ability block. Ult. Yeah, that healed him all the way back up. All right, let's go ahead and back out and try this thing again. All right, we're going to end up going in with a burn attack in here, and Duster in chat actually reminded me about something. Xavier, his passive makes it to where only his focus and damage can be reduced by negative effects. So the room rule actually doesn't apply to him right here. So that, I think, is what's going on, is he's still able to land all those negative effects with the special, and the damage isn't going to be lowered either. That ended up pushing Juggernaut, because Juggernaut basically gets his turn meter filled since Xavier just took his turn. So that was able to make it to where now the full team is able to kind of get their thing going. So this actually did end up hurting the cursed a little bit in there. So we're going to go in with this burn attack. I'm going to try to pull Xavier's special. Hopefully I can survive long enough to make it to the ultimate move in here. And then I'm just going to go in with the curse for the follow-up. Let's go in. All right, let's go ahead and just burn these abilities. We're going to get these retaliates in here. All right, so there goes Null taking his turn now. All right, so there's the special from Xavier. That's perfect. And for some reason, Peggy Carter decided to do a kill shot to Falcon Joaquin. Poor guy. All right, so now we're going to use the ult here. All right, so we did pull the ultimate from Xavier. That is perfect and lucky. Honestly, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it to the ultimate. So now this cleanup's going to be a whole lot easier. All right, so we got the burn attack out of the way. We were able to pull both special and ultimate from Xavier. We pulled the ultimate from Null. We pulled the special from Shadow King. So now we're going to end up going in with our full Accursed team. I don't think I need to do a substitution for Marta, because as soon as we lose somebody, the full kits would end up falling apart if we do a substitution. And I just don't have enough stars on the 3 new characters yet. So we're going to play it safe, just use the full team. I think we might end up being okay on this one now. All right, so Charges actually stayed on Black Knight this time. However, he's got the exhaust mechanics, so that's fine. And they are going at Satana hard, and she just went down. All right, so that's not good. There's the ult from Shadow King. All right, looks like we might need to try something different. Let's back out. All right, we're going to attempt to do a cursed dorm. So somebody in chat mentioned this one, Dr. Gruber, or Grouper. Sorry about that. So yeah, basically we got rid of the ultimate from Xavier who does the permakill. We don't have to worry about the retaliates from Black Knight. Really the only permakill on here is going to be through Null. And based on how the opening barrage ended up happening, where we lost Satana, she would have ended up come back to life. So we're going to see what happens here. Let's experiment. All right, so now we have the revive once. Let's see what happens here. All right, so right now... All right, so there goes Dorm. If we lose one more character, then our kits are basically broken for Accursed. All right, let's go ahead and... Black Knight, I believe, did his special. He's going to be ulting. The ult here is a no revive. We do have taunt up, so that's going to be going into Juggernaut. I think we're fine there. Let's go ahead and ult into Null quick. That's going to heal us up. All right, so ult from Shadow King. All right, let's special here. Let's stick into Null right now. Ult. All right, this is gonna ult into... Let's do it here. Hopefully you get a kill on Shadow King and some good damage in Emma. All right, so Emma bled out. She's a striker. This is why I like her as a striker, because now we're going to do this into X and get the striker shot. There he goes. All right, so yeah, good call on the Dorm. Thank you, Dr. Grouper. Appreciate that. All right, we're going for the mirror matchup with Starjammer versus Starjammer. Because of the Lilandra flip and everything, we're just going to end up doing striker on the majority. We are keeping Groot as that skirmisher, so when he does that special, it's going to end up kind of marking so we get some extra hits on there. Actually, it's supposed to be skirmisher Rocket and then striker Groot. Screw it, we'll just do all striker and get this over with. Let's go in. Yeah, Liberty Sack and then a Cursed Dorm is basically the answer to that one. All right, so we have 2 Havocs. So what's better than 1 Havoc? 2 Havocs. We need to get a stun into you. That's going to be double the retaliation, too. That's not cool. And they took out my Havoc. You bastards. Let's go ahead and ability block here. And I feel like I need to kill one of the Havocs. Yeah, let's kill one of the Havocs, because those retaliates are going to kill us. Alright, so he comes back. Ult here. Alright, so we got rid of the Havocs. We got rid of Rocket. That's something. Alright, let's special here. We're about to clear everything? Yeah, he did. Alright, let's just ult here, get rid of you. We have immunity, so that's good. Yeah, let's go and attack everybody. And that Howard lived. I was hoping that would end up killing him. Alright, so that was honestly more scary than I thought it was going to be. Double Havoc is no joke. Especially when they kill yours right off the bat. Let's just basic here. And death proofs. Please die. There we go. Got through it. Alright, we're doing a little bit more experimenting in here. We have a Captain Britt to shut down the speed from Kahori. We have a Somber to flip everything because we do have APOC who's going to stop the safeguard. So basically, no safeguard. Somber's going to ult, flip everything. Then we have our power couple of Null and Gore. Now, we're not going to be able to do ults basically for about 2 or 3 turns until we hopefully start getting some kills in here. They do have Thanos to kind of get that energy battery out there with Kahori's passive and everything. So I do have to be mindful of who's getting the energy in here. But I'm kind of curious how this is going to play out. If I can at least get a kill in Mephisto and maybe Kahori, this is going to be a really easy cleanup. Let's see what happens. I was debating bringing Kingpin in, but I want to see what happens here. I'm a glutton for punishment. Alright, so there's the passive shot. Mephisto going into Songbird. Alright, so now we get to special here. Got the ability block out there. Alright, let's go ahead. Special, that's going to take the negative effects off. That's going to bring Carnage out. No ult turn 1. I'm a dum-dum. I should have remembered that. No ulting. We can still do special here. That's pretty good damage. Alright, let's go ahead and special again. We're just going to kill this Kahori because that's what they're giving me. Alright, so there's the push. Now we're going into Gladiator. That's going to hurt. Alright, so Kahori bled out. That's good. So that's going to give them the ability energy for getting kills. So now they're really racking up. So we are turned off from getting that ult out. That's not good. Let's just go into Mephisto quick. Because Mephisto's going to... There's the ult. Alright, so I'll just clean this up then. That was a dum-dum. Alright, we're going to end up going in here with Vigilante. So again, I cannot ult. I need to tell myself that. So Silver Sable, I cannot ult turn 1. Mental note for that one. So basically what we have going on is Hit Monkey. He still gets ability energy through his passive and everything. So he'll still be able to kind of get the ult out early enough. I think this can do some damage. Then if it fails, I'll just go in with the Immortal X-Men cleanup. So let's see what happens on this one. Vigilante's only options room 2. Kind of feels it right now, doesn't it? All right, so Mephisto Pact is out there. All right, let's go ahead and special here. That's going to push Thanos. It almost pushed Thanos, and then we're going to lose all our buffs. I think I want a basic because of that. Special. Yeah, we're in a basic. All right, so he took all our buffs anyways. Let's go ahead and special here. All right, Thanos healed up. Ult removes our buffs anyways. Go figure. All right, let's special here. And another Mephisto ult. There goes Elektra. One turn away again from the ult here. That sucks. All right, basic. Let's special this time. All right, got rid of Gladiator. That's awesome. Ooh, we got an ult here. Let's target you. Almost made it. Oh, well. All right, so yeah, Immortal X-Men cleanup coming in. I was not expecting that much damage from Punisher on the striker shot. My god. What a madman. All right, Immortal X-Men cleanup. No more exhausted to Mephisto. We got rid of Gladiators. This should be kind of a breeze on that one. Let's go in. All right, let's go ahead and stun you. Striker shot here into Gore. And let's go ahead and special here. I don't want to hit Thanos yet with the assist. And let's rewind or kill you. That's even better. All right, Thanos basic. All right, so let's go ahead and finish off Mephisto here. That's going to make us lose our buffs. At least you have no offense down. All right, let's ult. And Cable will kill you. All right, let's see if my opponent attacked yet. All right, so due to our experimenting, we did end up losing this one because we dropped quite a bit of matches, which I kind of figured would happen, and I'm fine with that. We kind of got to test our waters, kind of push things to the limits. So Rizzle got a 25,275. We got a 24,672. Now, as far as the attacks goes, we tried doing a straight accursed in stage 1. We did need to burn that, so we just did a Liberty Sack on here. We were able to pull everything from Xavier, which was great. Then we tried a straight accursed again. However, their cooldowns for like Shadow King was just kind of off for us. So we did accursed dorms, so that way they can try to survive and not get the perma kill through like Null or Black Knight's ultimate. This did end up working for us for 7962. So realistically, we could have got this done in 2 attacks. For stage 2, we did the Starjammer's Mirror, 8562. And stage 3, so we tried doing like a Null kind of a mishmash team on here. We were able to kill Kahori on here. We tried doing a Vigilante just to kind of see what would happen. We killed Gladiator, and then we did Immortal X-Men. So this one here, we did kind of struggle a little bit, just trying to figure things out. New rules, new season, in a sense. This got us at 8150. Now, as far as my defenses goes, they ended up doing a Cursed in 1, and it looks like they did some decent damage on here, but they couldn't really clear it. Then they went in with a Orcus with Odin. I'm guessing the Orcus was mainly to get the summon bot in there, so that way that summon bot would end up having taunt. So it's kind of a different way of doing like a prey taunt, so you don't have to bring Kingpin. Pretty interesting. I do like that. This got them at 8345. For stage 2, they did end up doing Immortal X-Men in here, which I kind of figured that would kind of happen. I wasn't sure if this would fully clear it, and it did actually really good. So I did make an alteration to my stage 2. For stage 3, this is interesting. So they brought in Phoenix Force, Old Man Logan, Nightcrawler, Blade on here. So really interesting flex with the Blade kind of added in on here. Not sure if I would bring anybody different, but it looks like they backed out. Then they went back in with the same team, same positioning. ISOs looked the same as well. So I'm guessing they got close, then decided to give it another shot, and they did end up getting it. This got them at 83-61. So well played, Rizzle. I did make some alterations to my defense. Stage 2, I'm trying to do like a OG Emma with Omega Sentinel in here. Just the whole trying to throw Immortal X-Men off and slowing them down with Emma and then throwing Omega Sentinel in there so that way she can try to get the stun into Storm. I just want to get a little bit of RNG in that mix. Stage 1, I'm keeping the same for now, and stage 3, I want to see what happens again with this one. I think one room doing a test on that isn't enough, so we'll see what ends up happening for this round 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.